Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Chapter 3, Environment and Society. And our topic is the urban environment, a tale of two cities. Here is a typical conflict over the urban environment. On the morning of the 30th January 1995, Delhi was waking up to another chilly winter day. Imagine the well-to-do colony of Ashok Vihar in North Delhi, posh houses shrouded in grey mist, early risers setting off on morning walks, some with their pet dogs, Pomeranian and the Ulsterian, straining at the leash. As one of these morning walkers entered the neighborhood park, the only open area in the locality, he saw a young man poorly clad, walking away with an empty bottle in hand. Outraged, he caught hold of the man and called out to his neighbors. Someone phoned the police. A group of enraged house owners and two police constables descended on the youth and within minutes beat him to death. The young man was 18 years old Dilip, a visitor to Delhi who had come to watch the Republic Day parade in the capital. He was staying with his uncle in a jhuggi along the railway tracks bordering Ashok Vihar. His uncle worked as a laborer in the Wazirpur industrial estate nearby. Like all other planned industrial areas in Delhi, Wazirpur too has no provision for workers' housing. The Jhuggi cluster with more than 10,000 households shared three public toilets, each one with 8 latrines, effectively one toilet between more than 2,000 persons. For most residents than any large open space, under cover of dark became a place to defecate. Their use of the park brought the industrial workers and their families up against the more affluent residents of the area who paid to have a wall constructed between the dirty, unsightly jhuggies and their own homes. The wall was soon breached to allow the traffic of domestic workers who lived in the jhuggies but worked for clean the homes and cars of the rich, and to offer access to the delinquent defecators. Dilip's death was thus the culmination of a long-standing battle over a contested space that to one set of residents embodied their sense of gracious urban living, a place of trees and grass devoted to leisure and recreation, and that to another set of residents was the only available space that could be used as a toilet. If he had known this history of simmering conflict, Dilip would probably have been more wary and would have run away when challenged, and perhaps he would still be alive. The violence did not end there. When a crowd of people from the jhuggies gathered to protest against this killing, the police opened fire and killed 4 more people. As cities grow, the conflict over urban space is becoming more acute. While migrants come to the city in search of work, they cannot afford scarce legal housing and are forced to settle on public lands. This land is now in great demand to build infrastructure for affluent residents and visitors. Malls and multiplexes, hotels and tourist sites As a result, poor workers and their families are being evicted to the outskirts of the city and their homes demolished. Besides, land, air, and water have also become highly contested resources in urban environment. Now we can discuss why do the urban poor often live in slums, which social groups control landed property and housing in the city, what social factors affect people's access to water and sanitation. These are the topics which are to be discussed by us. Now let us wind up the session, and we have come to the end of the chapter 3, Environment and Society. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the self learning podcast.